Hey, what is up? Dalton and Cloud here. So today I'm going to help you get certified again. Yeah, great. We have more resources that you could utilize to help you get certified, this time in Linux. But before we go into that, I just want to be able to tell you we're going to try to hack YouTube today. We're going to hack YouTube by hitting the subscribe icon and then tapping the notification bell, and then help get this video in front of more people to get them certified. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, so first off, we're going to be going into the LPIC 1. So in my previous video, I kind of talked about, my cloud journey, how I got to my first role. This is an exam I wish I went for. And even if I just studied for it and didn't actually take the exam, I wish I studied for this before I got this job. It would have made my transition so much easier. So, but before we get into that, I just want to be able to tell you, let's see what other people have to say about this. So CompTIA, they literally have their own exam, but they're going over the best certifications for Linux. Of course, they put theirs on the pedestal because, this amazing vendor. Why wouldn't you say that yours is the best? I mean, of course. But then they have the RHCSA. This is the industry standard, the Red Hat Certification System Admin or Certified System Admin exam. Of course, they're going to say this is the best. This is what everyone says is the best. There's Oracle certifications, and then there's Linux Foundation certifications. We'll go over that later on as well, because I do think the Linux Foundation is amazing, not just for their Linux certifications, but for other certifications they have as well. But then LPI, Linux Professional Institute. That's the vendor we're going through today, and the LPIC 1 and LPIC 2 allows Linux beginners to demonstrate competence networking basics, then move to higher levels. And then, of course, the higher level is the LPIC 3, and then the GIAC as well. And this is CompTIA. This is, they have their own certification. Why would they be boosting these others if they weren't amazing in the industry? Hacker.io leaves LPIC 1 is ranked number 3 on their top 5. Even Guru99 says it's one of the best, and then WizLabs also says it's one of the better certification vendors out there, of course, with GIAC, Oracle, and Red Hat, because Red Hat is Red Hat, right? But yeah, so let's get into today's video on why, or what goes into getting certified with the LPIC 1. Okay, so world's largest and most recognized Linux certification. Great, amazing. This is usually where you want to start off. Actually, you want to start off at Linux Essentials if you're really new, you've never had a Linux operating system in your life. I do have a video where you could go over the study resources you would need for that. I've sat down and studied for the Linux Essentials. It was great. It was something I really am glad I studied for before studying and sitting down for the LPIC 1 and studying for this. So that's one thing I'm really glad I went through and did. So the LPIC 1 is broken down into 2 exams, the 101 and 102 domain or topics. The 101 domains are system architecture, Linux installation and package management, GNU and Unix commands, devices, Linux file systems, file system hierarchy standard. Then for the 102 domains, we have shells and shell scripting, interfaces and desktops, administrative tasks, essential system services, networking fundamentals, and security. So that's what we're going to need to know to kind of get ready and get certified with this exam. But before we get into any paid, content, we want to know what are the prices of these exams. So going through and just looking at these exams, it's going to be for the 101 and the 102, it's going to be $200 each for each of these exams. So, you see these different pricing tiers depending on where you're at and what country. But then we go over here and to the learning material page. So if you want to get certified for this exam, they offer you free studying through their website. You don't actually have to go out there and pay for any sort of content. Although we're going to, just because, as you could tell from looking at this PDF of their learning material, it could get a little bit dry, to say the least. So they want you to make sure that you know what material you need to get certified. They don't need you to have fun while doing it. So if you're someone who could read for hours on end and just read docs over and over again, then great. You might not need to pay for anything. You could just go to their website, get the PDF, download it, and go through it, and you're good to go for the exam. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. So this is great material though to reference, especially if you're going through a course. I suggest you download the PDF when you're going through. This is free material. If you're going through a certain domain and an instructor is not teaching it just the way you need and you need another reference, hey, look at the PDF. See what part you're stuck at and use this as a reference and be like, oh, maybe you could connect the two dots by using the two different resources. All right, so the first place we're stopping is over here at Udemy. So it's actually going to be with Ricardo and his Linux practice tests. This is the updated version for the 101 and the 102. So what he offers here, he offers 3 different tests for each exam. So 3 tests for the 101 and 3 practice tests for the 102. He does go pretty, I've tried some of these questions out in the personal plan, and if you don't know if you want to purchase a certain course, maybe try this first. Get your free trial for 7 days. See how you like this before you make any purchases. Because, it's not for everyone. I personally loved it. I thought this was really great. It reminded me of John Bonso's Amazon certification prep questions. So I really liked going through and studying this. This way, after I, studied with another course, which we haven't gotten to yet. Another one we have here is going to be by Manuel. This is going to be the LPIC 1 Masterclass. So this goes over the 101 and the 102. This is 27.5 hours of on-demand content, and 2 articles, 17 downloadable resources, full-time access. I don't believe this is part of the personal plan. I don't think this is part of that curriculum that Udemy has. But it's still a great course to utilize. Right now it's on sale for $14. Okay, so this one is by Christine. This one actually is on the personal plan. So if you wanted to, you could try the 7-day free trial with Christine. I don't think I studied with her, so I can't really give too much insight, but I mean, she's had amazing reviews. She's last updated this month her course. So, and then if we just go through the course, we see there's 12 hours of on-demand content, 124 downloadable resources, 23 articles, and 1 practice test. And as I said, if you're doing the free trial, why not try this one for free? So Udemy, great resource to utilize. Of course, go through the vendor, get their resource material as well. Next up, it's going to be IT Pro TV. I love IT Pro TV. Love them, not just because they're close by, but they're just amazing instructors. They do an amazing job. I can't say enough so how amazing they are. So you get 12 hours of content for the 101, 10 hours of content in 39 minutes, about 11 hours for the 102. Their prices aren't terrible. As I've said before, they're pretty similar to Pluralsight, although I think you do get a little bit more access to things with Pluralsight, especially if you're paying with the premium. The one thing you don't get access to with Pluralsight is going to be the coaching services. I gotta say, what they offer for the coaching services, especially for $500 a year, it's amazing, right? Especially if you're getting into IT, but maybe you're not quite sure what you are really interested in yet. If that's something that describes you, maybe you want to try a month of the premium service and just get advice talk to people in certain fields doing certain things, you know, start to build a relationship and, get an idea of what to do next. Or, another good example of this where you don't have to pay a premium for is go to meetup.com, download that app, go to LinkedIn, look for different resource groups and reach out to people. Even, hey, where we find most of our resources and advice from people, Reddit. Different Reddit groups will have tons of amazing advice for you for how you could get certified in different fields. Next up, Pluralsight. As I said before in my previous video, I used to hate Pluralsight. I hated Pluralsight so much. But all of this certification prep is taught by Andrew Mallet. He's not sharing his curriculum with anyone else. He's the only one teaching this to you. He's teaching you the 101 and the 102. You have 42 hours worth of content to digest here. All right. You have 9 different courses for the 101 and the 102 getting ready for these exams. This is going to overly prepare you for the exam, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And the price, as I said, it's not that bad if you're looking into it. Price is pretty similar to IT Pro TV. You're gonna see $449. Actually, is it cheaper? Oh, it is a little cheaper right now. So for the premium service, you're going to see $449 a year or $300 a year, which I believe that is the same price. Normally it's $499 annually. So, considering what you get access to, it's actually a really great price. For my current budget, I don't have access to have the premium. I just have what the standard that's provided to me by my work, which is great. And I love it. And it's amazing. And thank you, work, for giving me an opportunity to have access to all these tools. But, having access to the API access, the trend analytics, usage analytics, the sandbox and different things like that, that'd be pretty nice to have access to all those different things. You know what you get access to with just a standard is just as good. And as I said, since Pluralsight's done their, they bought out A Cloud Guru, they've kind of changed their model and how they do things with instructors. They've done a real 360, and I think they're going to be one of the best resources for studying certification paths in the future. Next up, A Cloud Guru. I'm sorry, Terry Cox is amazing. I believe Terry is actually the one who helped me go through the LPI Linux, like the essentials. And I love his videos. I love the way he presents. It's not too dry, but he keeps it entertaining enough. But I love Terry Cox's content. I love A Cloud Guru for the mere fact that I could go in here, I could spin up, whatever sort of labs I need. Of course, that's not going to help when you're going through the installation portion